Welcome to Yoga with Cynthia. I'm Cynthia Bialik, and both the host and the producer for this program. Irene Faithful is faithfully with me on most of the shows, and we are going to be doing a creative mat flow for you. And when we say a creative mat flow, we are going to be moving through the poses a little bit more quickly in the beginning to make sure that you've got good blood flow in all the segments of your body, and also for your enjoyment. So it will have a little dancey feel to it, if you will, but we're going to be on the mat. We're going to actually start with a butterfly sequence that I've put together for you. So we're going to have our feet at the very front of our mats, but I want you to keep about 24 inches between your heels and your hips. So unlike your traditional Baddha Konasana, we are going to be keeping those heels pretty far apart. But we're going to butterfly the legs. So as our arms are opening like this, so are our legs. And as we use the inner thighs and use our abs, we're going to squeeze our hands together and tuck the chin into the chest. So then as you open, we're going to bring the arms up and then out and down and then in. So the arms come up, breathe, open, exhale, in. And again, arms up, breathe, exhale, arms and in. And again, deep breath, open the chest, exhale, and in. And two more like that. Deep breath. Inhale, exhale, and in. And one more time. Breathe, exhale, and in. Now let's scoot back on the mat. What's traditionally staff pose. And we're going to move our hips side to side to release any tension in the back. And we're going to be taking a little walk on our sitting bones. So we're going to scoot our left heel forward when our left hip is up and we're leaning to the right. Then we're going to scoot the right heel forward when we're leaning to the left. And you're going to push our heels forward towards the front of your mat. And then we're going to pull our hips back and move to the rear of your mat. Just walking on the sitting bones to release any tension you have in your back. This is a great way to warm up your low back. It's a great way to warm up your hips. And just in general, if you're in a cold space, you need to warm the body before you hold any of the traditional yoga poses because the body is not warm enough to do it. And instead of lengthening those muscles, you run the risk of tearing some of the muscle fibers. So now we're going to settle down into the sitting bones. We're going to anchor into our left hand, and we're going to focus on the right side of our mat, making a big sun. So we're going to make that half circle to the back edge of your mat, and then to the forward edge of your mat. So come back, breathe, exhale, and down. And again, deep breath in, exhale and down. Two more times. Deep breath, reach up and back. And forward, and last one. Now we're going to position our right hand back, open that chest that we've been stretching, and we're going to take our left arm up. And if you can come down towards your elbow, bring that left arm up, and then we're going to reach out towards our right foot and lean back, lift the chest, look up, exhale and over. Breathe. And exhale and over. Two more times, lifting up and pulling forward. Now the last one, we're going to try to reach out for the right foot. If you can't reach for the right foot, you can place your hand on your shin or go ahead and reach it here. Then if you can, reach up and back with your right hand. Look back over your right thumb. And let's try the same thing on the other side. So here we go. Anchor into your right hand. We're going to swing that left arm back, make that circle, plant it on the mat, bring it forward towards your ankle or towards your foot, wherever you can reach. Exhale and fold forward. Inhale and back. Exhale and forward. And inhale and back. And continue just like that. Exhale and inhale. 2 more times. Exhale and inhale. Good. And now bring that left hand behind you. Take your right arm up and stretch those lats. And then reach forward towards your left foot. And again, breathe deep. Exhale towards that left foot. And continue twice more. Exhale and over. And one more. Now grab that foot if you can, or rest your hand on your shin. You're going to turn and look back into your left hand. Open the chest as much as you can in a twist. And now drop that down, and we're going to slide our right leg up towards the groin and just drop it out to the side. And we're going to do a little sweeping motion with the rib cage. So you're going to pull your rib cage around, first to the left leg, then to the right. Place your hands right on the rib cage so you can feel the rib cage moving. You can feel the intercostal muscles between your ribs stretching. Stay there and breathe in through the nose as you pull forward. Exhale as you pull back. 2 more deep breaths. And on the last one, you're going to slide your hands to that front right corner of the mat and then slide them back in. And again, forward and reach and back and reach. Now our last one, you can come down to the elbows or continue on down to the crown of your head. Stay where you feel comfortable. Continue your breaths. You can come back to your elbows if you feel better in this position. And now as we exit this, we're going to go ahead and bring the right hand behind the hip. And I want you to rotate our left hip in and out. And we're going to end up on the instep of your left foot. And you're going to come off your right hip onto your left shin in a sidearm balance. So let's take advantage of getting the lats to stretch again. And then we're going to sit back down and try to reach out for your left foot. Let's come back, come up into that sidearm balance, look up in the air. And on the exhale, drop back down and reach for that left foot. One more time. Deep breath in and lift the chest and look up. Now we're going to bend that left knee and bring that left elbow on the inside of your knee and just use the rotator cuff muscles. Rotate that shoulder as you slide your hand between your legs. Pull it up and down. Now, some of you may want to just stay here and just keep your gaze straight out from your face to the right side of your mat. If you want to try a bind, just sneak that hand back around the hip and lock your hands around your left hip and look over your right shoulder. Two more slow breaths. Now we're going to do a modification for cow face. So we're going to take our left leg over to the right. And I want you to circle the arms out to the side. Now we're going to keep our gaze straight out from the face. Keep your right arm out and just bend your left elbow. Keeping your left hand facing away from the body. Snuggle up against the right shoulder if you can. Reaching that left arm up as high as possible. Climbing up the shoulders. I'm going to turn myself around so you can see me here. Lifting my arm up to the top of the shoulder. Then I'm going to reach back and grab the hand. Keeping the gaze straight out from the face in Gomukhasana, cow face pose. Deepen your breaths. Stay right where you are. And now we're going to slide our left leg on the outside of your right. Bring your right elbow around the outside of your left. Bring your hands in prayer if you can. And look over your left shoulder, modified half Lord of the Fishes. Now we're going to play with that same sequence on the other side. So let's go ahead and extend your right leg out. We're going to go ahead and place your hands on the rib cage again. And we're going to move around. Pulling the rib cage forward and around. So we can go back the other way. Leaning right to left. And now slide your hands to the middle of your mat. We're going to slide forward to the front left corner and come back. And again, slide forward and come back. Coming out as far as you can. And then if you feel like you want to stay on your hands or your elbows, you can just stay where you feel comfortable. Take your time. Just breathe deeply in and out through the nose. Stay where you feel comfortable. So for some of you, it might be here, just a slight hinge at the hip. Just stay where you feel comfortable. Now we're going to focus on our side arm balance. So first, let's wiggle the right leg around, releasing that hip. So we're moving that foot down towards the mat, and we're going to come up on our left shin. And bring that right arm over your shoulder. Lift the chest up in the air. And then have a seat and try to reach for that right foot. And come back. Lift that chest in the air. Breathe deep. Exhale and down. Reach forward here. Breathe in and reach back. Exhale and down. And again, breathe deep. Exhale and down. One more time. Deep breath. Exhale and down. Now slide your right leg in. And we'll do that rotator cuff. Our right elbow is against our right knee. Looking straight out to the right. And we're going to let that arm come down. And back up, just rotating the shoulder towards the left side of your mat. Letting the shoulder rotate in and up. And if you feel you're able, you can reach under. Otherwise, stay here and look over your left shoulder. If you can, rotate that arm down and wrap around your hip. And hold there. Continue to stretch open the chest as you breathe. Now we're going to be moving into cow face pose. So bring your right leg over your left. And we're going to bring that left arm up in the air. Take your right arm out. And swing that right arm back and reach up that left shoulder and reach back. See if your right hand is there to grab. And pull it up. Quiet your mind, relax your face. Stay here and breathe. Now we're going to bend that right knee. Slide your right leg on the outside of your left knee and bring your left elbow on the outside of your right knee. Hands in prayer and look over your right shoulder. Modified half Lord of the Fishes. Now at this time, we're going to cross the ankles and we're going to try to flip over onto the knees and make our way down into the mat. So for those of you that are bothered by being on your belly because it bothers your low back, sometimes if we focus on tightening that low back to try to pull ourselves up, that's the strain. So at this time, I want you to move from one hip to the other and don't tighten that low back. Just let it release. Okay, the only part of the back now that's really an extension is more or less your thoracic spine. So just move your hips side to side. You've got a little extension in the low back, but not so much. So if this is where you want to stay, please feel free to stay here. If you want to bring the elbows up into Sphinx pose, you can stay here. And for those of you that want some tricep strengthening, we're going to come down and up, slowly pulling the shoulders back. Breathe, come back up, exhale and down. And again, breathe in and exhale down. So we're going to do that 4 more times. Up in the air, exhale and down. And 2 more. Down. Now hold and breathe. Take your gaze straight out from your face. Now we're going to lift that left leg and wiggle your toes around. And we're going to try to reach back and grab your left ankle. And if those of you that are home and it's too much on your back, just lay your belly down and roll to the side and join us because we're going to come there ourselves. We're going to come down to the side and roll out and keep our right arm straight. Just lay the head into that right arm and pull that left heel to the buttocks. And stretch those quads there. Now, when we release that left leg, we're going to send it straight out in front of us. Stay there. And we're going to pull on to the inside of your thigh. As you push out, we're going to turn our head and look to the right. Breathe deeply in and out through the nose as we allow the neck to stretch, as we allow the adductor longus and gracilis muscles to lengthen. Stay there. Let's slide that leg back and come back up onto our elbows. And if at this time you're feeling some discomfort in your low back, do the rock back and forth and release that tension. And again, if you want one more up and down little challenge for the triceps, just come off your elbows up and down. So we're breathing as we come up. Exhale as you come down. Breathe and exhale. And 2 more here. And then we're going to pick up that right leg this time. Move it around. Reach back for your right ankle. Hold it there. Breathe deep. And slowly drop over into your left hip. Bring that right leg back and stretch those quads. Continue your slow breaths. Now we're going to bring that right leg straight out in front of you. And as you come down into that hip, you're going to turn to the left side of the room, stretching the right side of your neck. And just remain there. Breathing deeply in and out through the nose. Now you're going to come back to center and slide those hands back underneath your chest, and we're going to come into a cat. So bring your knees a little closer into your palm, round the back, and lift that midsection. Drive the navel into the spine and hold right here. And now we're going to cross those ankles once again and have a seat back. Now, if you have a block or if you have a cushion you want to use, because we're going to be using the block to put our hips on. So I'm actually going to demonstrate in the reverse so that you can see what I'm doing with my legs from the behind. We're going to slide our block underneath the pelvis. And we're going to start with our legs up in the air. And this will temporarily reduce your blood pressure. Just move your feet around. Deepen your breaths as you move your feet. And now we're going to drop the left leg down. Keep the right leg in the air. And we're going to pull back on that right leg. So here we go. Pull back on that right leg. And hold that right leg back. Deep breaths. So a supine split here. Just pulling that leg as close to the body as you can. And now switch. Take that left leg up in the air as you extend the right. Pull back as far as you can. Stay there and breathe. Now once again, both legs are up, and we're going to try to bring those legs to your chest, and if you can, lift your hips off the block. Into plow. Separate your feet, pull up through the sitting bones, pull down into your shoulders. Now if you want to move into shoulder stand, and make sure your back is flat, you can place your block up against your back and hug your block against your spine and start to pull one leg up and then the other. Deep breaths in and out through the nose as we push straight up in the air. And once again, come back into that plow. And slowly come back down to the mat. And return the feet down. So now we're going to do a comfortable lift of the hips. And just place the block under your hips, either in the middle or at the very highest point, because we're going to be in a supported bridge. So if you feel you can take that block up all the way, go ahead and do it. Some of you that have issues with your back when you're not supported, but you have the flexibility You might enjoy this because it helps traction the spine just a little bit. So if you're there and you want to come up high and it doesn't pose you any discomfort, go ahead. We're just going to continue to breathe deep in and out through the nose. Now I want you to enjoy your bridge, but I have to take this time to say thank you so much for watching Yoga with Cynthia. Till the next time, namaste. And we're going to ease into Savasana. Continue to enjoy.